The Republican vice presidential candidate choice has been made. With me this morning is a man who literally hears from all corners of the nation. He is head of the National Governors Association. Jack Markell is the governor of Delaware as well. Governor, welcome to town. We're glad to have you with us.
Thanks. Great to be here.
What do you make of Paul Ryan named as the VP? He won the Veep stakes for the GOP. What does this mean to governors? Is it going to energize the Republican Party?
First, let me make clear, I'm not here in my capacity as chair of the National Governors Association. And first, I think it's important to congratulate Congressman Ryan and his family. Really an exciting moment for them. I think what it does, it probably energizes a lot of folks on the Republican side. It energizes a lot of folks on the Democratic side. And the real question is what happens to folks in the middle. And of course, you know, my view is that as more of the independents and folks who are undecided understand more about Congressman Ryan's plan and Governor Romney's plan, compare it with the president's plan, they'll see there's a stark choice here.
Now, what do you think about what some people have told us is the lack of specificity, the lack of details? I mean, it is somewhat normal at this stage in the game, right? Because if, for example, Romney and Ryan give too many details, then, you know, as a political person, that leaves them open to attack. So is it normal we haven't seen more?
Well, I think in this case, Paul Ryan actually put out a plan. I mean, he put out a budget. The House voted on it, so there are lots of specifics there, and it's really that piece that I think people are going to want to focus on. And, you know, I have a business background, and I have a sense of what it really takes to grow an economy from the middle class out. In contrast, whereas the Governor Romney and Paul Ryan, it's really all focused on taxes, they are, the Ryan plan, which Romney has embraced, first of all, reduces Pell Grants for college for 10 million students, reduces infrastructure, reduces science and research, and kicks 200,000 kids out of Head Start. I mean, that's not a way to grow the middle class.
It's arguably not a way to grow the middle class. The flip side is, of course, Governor, there are a lot of people saying all of these entitlement programs have to be dealt with. And Ryan's, let's say, the people who back his plan say, look, the guy has guts. He is trying to do something to move the country forward.
Yeah, he may have guts, and I give him credit for that. I give him credit for putting a specific plan out there in his budget. The problem is I just think it's absolutely the wrong direction. It's one thing if you're trying to build an economy from the top down. It's something entirely different if you're trying to build an economy from the middle class out. And making it more difficult for kids to get the Pell Grant so that they can go to college, having fewer kids going to Head Start, having less investment in infrastructure, that is not a great way to build a strong economy.
One of the areas where, and Ryan was on with Political Capital, our own Al Hunt, and I'm quoting here from a June 8th interview, he wouldn't really answer specifically when he was asked about tax breaks for mortgage interest, retirement savings, charitable contributions. All he suggested basically, and now I'm paraphrasing, is that high-income taxpayers would face more limits.
So I think, again, the Romney-Ryan plan here, and Romney had put out his plan, and just about a week and a half ago, the Tax Policy Center looked at it very carefully. And here's what they found in a nutshell. In order to pay for the tax cuts for the very wealthiest, what that means, this is not politics, this is math. If it's going to be paid for, if it's going to be revenue neutral, the burden gets shifted downward to the middle class and the working people. Again, this is not a political statement, it's a statement of math.
Well, we know David Axelrod as well, Obama advisor, saying on CNN's State of the Union yesterday, basically, if you take Romney's tax returns and applied them to the changes that Ryan wanted to make, you know, basically Romney wouldn't be paying too much in taxes.
I saw that as well. I think that's something people will be interested in, but I also think people will be very focused on how do we continue to build this economy. And it's my view that investments in things like infrastructure, investments in things like college accessibility, those are really important for middle class families.
How do you pay for those, though, Governor?
Well, the only way, I think one of the things the President has recognized, you don't tax your way out, you don't cut your way out. You have to have a balanced approach. And I've been very impressed by some of the steps the President's taken recently. For example, signing the Jobs Act to make it easier for smaller companies to go public, because he recognizes that so much of job creation takes place after a company goes public. We've got to continue to promote exports, which is exactly what the President's done. He's encouraged foreign direct investment. He's really encouraged what we call Startup America, run by Steve Case. I think there are a number of steps that he's taken to continue to grow the economy, to bring in the necessary resources.
Governor, we thank you so much for the time.
Thank you.
Good to see you in New York. Governor Markell joining us here.